be like. So Emilio, come tell me what happened.
Well, hello, my name is Emilio. I'm alcoholic. I'm going to also do the timer. Oh, there we go. Well, my sobriety day is 7/22/03. I have a sponsor as Alvin. At this time, at this moment, I don't have a home group. I'm in between groups right now. When Osprey asked me, my first thought was, oh shit. And I was like, why did I say hello to you? And that's my truth. You know, the thing is that when I first came into these rooms, I would always hear things like 15 years going out, 22 years going out, or someone, they like stopped, they didn't drink, but then they come back. And I never understood that. I was the guy that got, my first year, I was on fire. My first year, I was doing my amends and reading the books, guys. And I was just full of energy. And I would hear these, and I would walk up to these guys with 15 years going like, I don't get it. And in 22 years, I get it now. My truth is today, on December 26th, I came back to Alcoholics Anonymous. I left for a while, you know, and I was resentful. Had a lot, not just in AA, I was resentful of my family, my son's mother, and I had this autistic son that needed a lot of attention. And at that time, I was going to night school, and I was the weekend dad. And what happened is I was going to school, trying not to do homework when I had him, and 8 years went by. And this is where I went wrong. I stopped doing 10 and 11. This is where I went wrong. I stopped doing 10 and 11. I stopped praying. I stopped doing the moment of silence. I stopped watching for my resentment, my fear, my worry, my anger. I didn't ask to be afraid to be removed. I didn't do my morning, and I didn't do my night review. And that's very important, especially for a guy like me. I want to live. I'm not afraid of dying, but I want to live. And one of the greatest gifts that at the moment it wasn't a greatest gift, but this program has showed me how to walk through my feelings. That's the only way I get to grow in this program. Walking through my fear, walking through my worries. I'm the guy that will future trip about next week and worry about like something happened a year ago. I'm a father and I still worry about my son, and I can't turn that off. But 10 and 11 helps me move forward. In the book, Bill talks about 3 types of alcoholics. Silkworth talks about 5, but we're going to talk about Bill's. We got the moderate, we got the hard, we got the real alcoholic. I've experienced all 3. I came in at 29 years old. I remember not liking it and leaving it alone. But don't get me wrong, I like how it made me feel, but I didn't like the taste, so I left it alone. But as time went on, I met somebody, and when I was drinking so much that when I came home, she had her bags packed and she gave me an ultimatum, and I stopped for her. The damage was already done. A year later, she just left, and I drank that night. And so, see, I believe that my disease had me that day, and I didn't see it coming. And that day, until I hit 29, I came into these rooms. It had me. I only have one relapse in my story. I believe I'm one of the lucky ones. I've only been to one treatment center. But in the book, it talks about this guy, I think it's the carpet slippers. He just stopped, retired. And he thought, a drink sounds good, 4 years dead. That could be me. When I also came here, I went to the 12 and 12 Fellowship Hall, and I was so full of rage and anger. I sat by this guy, no teeth, all excited. He smelled excited about this program. I sit right by him. He puts his arms around me. How's it going? And he needed a mentor, you know? And I'm just right here, my first day. I'm gonna go, oh my God, you know? And he goes, we got today, dude. We got today. And the meeting started. And the secretary goes, hey, calm down back there. And I'm just, I got up and left. That freaked me out. And I didn't want to punch him, but I was followed out by this guy. And he said, why are you leaving? And I said, this is not for me. She goes, why not? I just want to drink. He goes, well, here's this book. Go read it and let me know what you think. I will never do that to an alcoholic. That's new. The first paragraph was hard. Too many big words. I drank that night. I was told as one alcoholic talking to another alcoholic, sharing experience of strength and hope. I drank that night. Then obviously DUIs brought me here, and I had to do AA or I had to do jail time and pay a big fee, you know, and obviously I chose you guys, got my court slip signed. In Lakeside Milam, I found a sponsor. Loud said, find somebody that you want. You see it and you want that. So this cat, 8 years younger than me, walks in. The jaywalker was bringing a meeting to the group on a Sunday and said, he walks in the meeting and he's just glowing, smiling. People knew his name. He got the good hugs. And when he's talked, people listen. And boy, I wanted that. He came up to me because he was saying hi to everybody, you know, and I'm going, wow, you know. And he goes, hi, my name is Nick. I turned away. I mean, how do you say hello to somebody sober? I just turned away. And he pat me on the back and he says, if that's okay, dude, it's okay. And the topic on that was quicksand stretched around me. He talked, and the way he explained it was that he couldn't breathe no more. But that this quicksand, he couldn't breathe no more. And he was wondering, why, God? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? And I related to that. And after the meeting, I asked him, will you be my sponsor? And he just gave me a big smile. And he goes, you know what? Let's meet when you get out of here and we'll go from there. Yes, no? We're going to meet. See, what I didn't know is that when I met with him, he broke down sponsorship in his definition. I sat down and had coffee, and he asked me some questions. He said, well, Emilio, this is the way I do it. We pick a day, 1 hour a week, big book, highlighter pen. If you're late, you call. You're 1 minute late, you call. You show up at my door and 1 minute late, I don't answer. You show up without your book, I close the door. You show up without your pen or highlighter, I close the door. And I'm going like, holy shit. Oh. He goes, so am I the man for you? And I said, yes. So I lived in Bothell. He was in Queen Anne. And we met at 7. I showed up an hour before our meet time. I'm trying to find a parking spot close to his house. Trying not to pay for the parking in Queen Anne, you know? I mean, if you see somebody, slide in. You know, I got good at parking, parallel parking. And I'll be at his door because we met at 7. And once I hit 7, knocked on his door. What this man taught me, one, he read me the book. And he talked about his experience, strength, and hope. He read me the book. He talked about his spirit, strength, and hope. One alcoholic talking to another alcoholic. The first relationship I had with a man, you know, that was beautiful. Even though when I was there, I wanted to punch him in the face a lot of times. I was very rageful, but he did feed me. I got to meet his wife, his girlfriend, fiance, and got to be a part, not a part, invited to his wedding. So I got to see what a boyfriend looked like. I met his parents, so I got to see what his son looked like. And I followed. One of the things that he did to me is when I threatened him in his own living room, and he heard me out, and he told me to get up. And as the way I was walking to the door, I'm going, oh shit, he's getting rid of me. He puts me in the bathroom and puts me in front of the mirror. He goes, what do you see? And I'm going like, me. That's what the fucking problem is. So you got two solutions. There's the door, so you're never going to talk to me like that again. And there's the living room. And you walk back to the living room and you read me the book. He would do things like that. And it hurt. But for some odd reason, he had faith in me. I'm in debt to that man, especially when it came to my inventory. One thing I loved, I got to talk about, so I'll back up a little bit. Why am I an alcoholic? Well, it's not because I went to one treatment center. It's not because I got 3 DUIs. I was lucky to have 3 DUIs. It's not, I never lost my job, never lost a wife, lost a girlfriend. But that doesn't make me an alcoholic. According to the experience, strength, and hope that you shared with me, is the phenomenon of craving. That that it starts right here. And when I take that one and it goes into my body wants more. I didn't know that. Amelia, it's like allergic reaction. He goes, you know what allergic reaction is? Yeah, I'm allergic to cats. She goes, do you hate cats? No, I want to pet the cat. He goes, I know, I just want to drink. Because I know I want to pet the cat. I see the cat, I want to touch it, and I touch my face, and truth out, I break out. Because I have an allergic reaction to kitty cats. But I love petting them. But I got to wash my hands. Well, that's what I have with alcoholism. Then he would ask me questions. Do you have choice when it comes to that first drink? I go, yes. Oh, you do? So how come you didn't stop? Why are you here if you have choice? Then he would tell me experiences that what choice meant when it came to that first drink. Well, up here, I just kept on drinking. My body wanted more. He goes, do you have control over the amount that you put into your body? I go, yeah. He goes, oh, you do? So what are you doing here? Well, when I put it in my body, I want more. So I lose all control, because Silkworth talks about a week or a month ago that I don't remember. Because I don't remember all why I should stop. Even though all my family sees it and my friends see it, why I should stop. But I don't see it. So I don't have choice over that first drink. And I don't have control over the amount that I put in. And see, that made sense. Because my own willpower, my thinking, in my opinion, I can't stop. I can't stop obsessing over it. It's just something I want. I can go over all the relationships that I chose. My buddies, the girls, the work, mom, dad, my sisters. We all got stories like that. But I chose alcohol. I didn't know when I got here, alcohol was my master. I love when it says that. Because it had me. And I didn't even know it had me. And that's why it's important to have sponsorship. To have that guy who will call you out. Today, my sponsor today is Albert. And he has a way with words sometimes. He calls me Big E when things are going right. And he calls me Little E when I'm struggling. So I always watch out for those two words. But my hope is that when people go into inventory, you're just halfway there. This is what inventory has taught me on how to live and how to move forward and how to be successful. Inventory has taught me how to have that relationship with God. It was just me and him. My sponsor was never there to hold my hand. It was just me and him. It's all a relationship. And before I got here, I sucked at relationships. I was horrible at relationships. And to me, when it comes to 4 and to 9, that's was my relationship because I learned how to pray and pray and pray. Then it came to a point where when I made amends to my mom. She was my first one. I broke it down, you know what I mean? And I go, oh, Mom, how can I make this right? She goes, well, I want you to pay back the money that you owe us. Okay. And she goes, I want to see you twice a week. Oh, and if you're not going to make it, I want you to call. Call me that you're not going to make it. Oh, yeah. You know, and if you can't make it twice a week, I want you to call me twice a week. So I get home, call my sponsor. So how did it go? And he goes, you know what she wants me to do? You know what she wants me to do? What does she want you to do? She goes, she wants me to pay back the money. She wants to see me twice a week. And if I'm not going to be there, she wants me to call. Then if I can't be there, she wants me to talk to her for twice a week. Now you know how to be a son. And right there, I was like, because all I want is relationships. I mean, how do you do relationships? Every person that you meet, there's no freaking, what you call it, resume, you know? Like, okay, he doesn't like this, this, and this, and don't say that. And I pay back the money. You know, I do see my parents twice. I do see my parents twice a week. And I do call them even when I'm late. Because it's a responsibility. It's how I show up. You know, and guess what? My mom loves beads. My sponsor goes, what's your mom's hobby? I don't know. So I know who my mom is today. And my dad. I mean, that's a relationship that's still on a process. And my sisters, you know, and it's another thing that Alcoholics Anonymous has given me. And the best gift that I've ever gotten in Alcoholics Anonymous is the voices up here. Sometimes it's quiet. I remember going to meetings and all of you were in mute. I don't know what meeting it was. I start hearing people. You know, it was quiet. And I know it was weird. And today, and how that is, if I go to a meeting and I sit down and I hear everybody's share in a meeting and don't get judgmental, I know I'm in a good place. But if I get judgmental, I know there's something wrong within me. Because my recovery is my business. How you guys want to do it, it's none of my business. My job is just to be there. You know, and another thing I've learned in Alcoholics Anonymous, I never have to say anything. I can just shut up and listen. You know, and at the end, I say, I'm still here. That's all I've ever wanted. Who doesn't want that? But one thing I want to talk about is why did I leave Alcoholics Anonymous with my son and stuff? One thing I've learned, feelings suck sometimes. I know what it's like to have all these emotions and just be happy and excited, you know, afraid what's going to come out of my mouth. I love that. I also know when I'm full of rage and hatred and everything that I'm thinking is just negative and I can't trust what's going to come out. And I also know what it's like to look at somebody and love them. Male or female, just love them. And again, for a guy like me, it's important to do 10, 11, and 12. Right now, I had 3 sponsees when Austria asked me. Now I'm sponsored. I have no sponsees now. I've only, out of the 22 years I've sponsored, I've only taken 4 guys to the book. For some odd reason, it's always the 1, 2, 3 disappear. 1, 2, 3. When my wife left me, I don't need you anymore, and that's okay. And the reason it's okay, because I'm a guy that needs to hear step one again. Amelia, do you have the phenomenon of craving? I'm the guy, even though I'm reading the book, I need to hear my story again. Because I have 22 years. After a while, it gets hazy up here for me on my last drunk or what I did or who I was. And I need to hear the second step again, even though I'm reading it to another guy. Do you believe or are you willing to believe? Every day, my actions will tell you if I'm willing to believe or do I believe. And sorry, my mind just went blank. Today, I'm on a journey of on a new definition of what a father is supposed to be. My son is in a center where they help autistic kids, and he put his mom in stupid questions. It got violent. They found a place for him, but it's in Texas, and I'm used to seeing him every weekend. So this is why on December 26th, I came back to Alcoholics Anonymous because I was in pain. I was confused. Part of me said, I can't do it no more. But my definition of a father was that we have to be there, And but when I came back, I just threw myself in the fellowship. There's a lot of mistakes that I did when I did that. One of the things is that I try to work on a day. I'm a people pleaser. I have a lot. And how do I know I'm a people pleaser? Because my inventory tells me. And I don't stick up for myself sometimes, And for whatever the reason is, uh, through this time, I have learned a lot about myself. A month ago, I almost left again because I had the fuckets. I didn't want to drink. I just wanted to leave because it was getting too hard. Because that's the thing I've learned. I'm 51 years old. I have learned that life is always going to come at me, no matter what. It's going to come. It's going to be on the road, or it's going to be at work, or a disagreement with a family member, or a disagreement with a buddy, or a loved one, or someone you don't know at the store because they want that turkey, And it's going to happen. My feelings are always going to be there. But what I do is my experience, strength, and hope for the next guy or for the next person. And I think it's very important, I'm not here to debate, but I'm here to carry the message of Alcoholics Anonymous to the alcoholic who suffers, not just to the new guy, to the alcoholic suffers. Because I wish when I left Alcoholics Anonymous, somebody would have checked up on me and say, hey, what you been doing? Want to hit a meeting? I would have loved that. You know what I mean? Because I just kept a secret and put my head down. I wish somebody would have done that for me. Carry the message. Even if it's not reading the book, it's taking me to a meeting or just calling me and checking up on me. I wish somebody would have done that. Again, I'm one of the lucky ones. I did not drink, but I did relapse. And I believe I can relapse without a drink. I relapse spiritually. And today, I know why people leave, because life gets hard, And even if I don't have experience, I do my best to listen, because that's the best gift we can ever do is just listen. Because that's where the friendship starts. If we just listen and get to know the person, get to know their quirks, or when they say, hey, how you doing? Fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Oh, really? That's a major word. You ask somebody, how you doing? I'm fine. No, you're not, I do it too. Someone asks me, I'm fine. And I have a good relationship with my mom and my sisters, and my family means the world to me. Me and my dad are still working on it, but my family means the world to me. And my mom says thank you, by the way. So when I made the amends and I said, Mom, we're doing a meeting today. Can we do dinner early? Okay. And when I would leave, she would kiss me goodbye, and she would go, you tell those people in AA that I say thank you. And every time I go to a meeting, I don't do it. But today, for the last few years, she would say, you tell them I said thank you because I got you back. And I'm just going, okay, Mom. So my mom says thank you, because she got her son back, you know. And oh, I got 4 more minutes. Today, I want you to know about me. No, I'm not going to leave. 2 weeks ago, I read an inventory to Alvin, and I didn't like it. I wasn't upset with myself, but it's like, how did I get here? Because before that moment, I preached to everybody about, it's all about relationships, trusting in God, and cleaning house and moving forward. And I lost that. I even left a home group, you know. And it's okay to disagree with people. It's how we disagree with them. Because it's all about respect. Some people might not like what I say, but just a simple smile and hello and thank you that's how easy it is. There's a lot of people I disagree with work. Oh my gosh. But it's always the respect. And I'm on a journey of finding a home group because this is my truth. Because it says in the book that we find the fellowship that we crave. You know what I mean? And to me is, what does that mean to me? I want people around me to want to know who I am. Because we all know what it's like when you talk to somebody and you're, hey, how was your day? And you start talking and all of a sudden they're doing this as you're talking, or their eyes are over there. Hey, what's up? You know what I mean? I don't want friends like that. Or friends that ask about something personal in my life, but they're not listening. You know what I mean? The fellowship that I crave is I want people that when they see me, they actually want to get to know me. Who doesn't want that? And I got the tools to know what that looks like. I also got the tools to stick up for myself and say, no, this person's not for me. But again, it's a people pleasing thing that I'm trying to work on, because the thing is I want to be loved. I want to be respected. I want the good hugs and Alcoholics Anonymous. And I also want people to listen to me when I talk. So in return, I got to do the same thing. It's because of this program you see who I am today. And even though I'm going through a rough patch in my life and I'm trying to pick up the pieces and walk, but I'm not going to come up here and say that everything is great. The journey with my son, I'm learning. In 20 days, I get to go see him. Freaking time's going by slow, but I'm excited, And it's my sponsorship says, well, before your son, you always complain that you never go on vacation. Maybe he's in Texas, because Texas is a nice state. And I'm just going like, really? So the thing is when I go visit him, I leave an extra day to go sightseeing in Texas, just to enjoy this life that I have. And the thing I'm learning is to give the power to this treatment center that they got it. They're staffed and they got it. Even though the truth is he's struggling in that treatment center, I gotta trust that. Just like with everyone's experience, he's gonna get through this. And if not, I'm still gonna be here, And so if you're dying in this room, the old timer said to me, "Listen, if you're dying in this room, good. What are you gonna do about it?" My Elvis told me that 2 weeks ago before I read the inventory. What are you gonna do about it, E? You get a bitch or you get a lick. You know? In that moment, I want to give him a spiritual punch, but I just read my inventory. And he gave me directions. And he told me, one thing he did tell me about this, and I'll end with this. He goes, when you do 10 and 11, I don't want you to do it just in one place. You get up in the morning, you read it. All of 10, all of 11, you read it. But make sure you're moving. You read it throughout the day. Okay? Just don't do the same routine. You move around, you know. At break, read it again. Go to your car and read it again. Sit there, more practice. It's going to come. It's going to come. And I've been doing that. And I've realized that it's sticking in here. It's sticky. And in the mornings, I usually, thank God I have a carport. I go outside and I do step 10 and 11. I read it because I keep on moving. I mean, I just don't get stuck in a routine, and that has helped me. That has helped me. So for a guy like me, with the time that I have, 10 and 11 and 12 is very important for a guy like me. So I can still get those years. But I only have today. Thank you.
Thank you.